Imagine for a moment that you're standing at the edge of a vast, windswept cliff, staring into an abyss that whispers your name. The world behind you hums with chaos, plans unraveling, dreams slipping through your fingers, the weight of every unfulfilled desire pressing against your chest. You've fought so hard to control it all, haven't you? To bend time, people, and fate to your will. But what if I told you that the secret to everything you've ever wanted lies not in the struggle, but in the surrender? Not in the clenching of your fists, but in the opening of your hands. This is no ordinary truth. It's an ancient whisper, a forgotten key forged in the fires of Stoic wisdom, waiting for you to claim it. Today we're not just talking about life. We're peeling back the veil of illusion to reveal a hidden law. Relax, and you will manifest everything you want. Stay with me until the end, and I promise you'll see the world and yourself through eyes reborn. Picture a man named Lucius, a Roman merchant of old, his brow furrowed with the strain of 1,000 burdens. His ships sailed late, his debts mounted, and his nights were haunted by the specter of ruin. He clawed at every detail, every rope on the dock, every coin in his ledger, believing that if he could just grip tighter, he'd force fortune to bow. But the harder he pulled, the more the threads of his life frayed. One dusk, as the sun bled into the horizon, he stumbled upon a Stoic sage named Atticus, seated calmly beneath an olive tree. "Why do you wrestle the wind?" Atticus asked, his voice a low rumble of certainty. "It moves as it will, and so must you." Lucius scoffed, but the words burrowed into him like roots into soil. That night, he didn't tally his losses or curse the fates. He sat still, breathed deeply, and let the storm within him quiet. By dawn, a ship he'd thought lost returned, laden with goods. Was it chance? Or had he stumbled upon a truth older than the stones of Rome? This truth is no mere fable. It's a law etched into the fabric of existence, one the Stoics understood with piercing clarity. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, once gazed upon the sprawl of his empire and wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The secret isn't in forcing the world to conform. It's in releasing the illusion that you ever could. Think of your own life, those moments when you've chased love, success, or peace with a desperation that left you hollow. The job you obsessed over slipped away, the relationship you clung to dissolved, the goal you bled for drifted further out of reach. Why? Because desperation is a thief. It steals your power and blinds you to the flow already carrying you forward. The Stoics saw this. When you stop grasping, you align with a current far wiser than your plans. Now imagine a river cutting through a mountain. Does it rage against the stone, battering itself into exhaustion? No, it flows, patient and relentless, carving its path not through force, but through persistence and ease. You are that river. Your desires, your dreams, they're not meant to be wrestled into being. They're seeds, planted by your actions, watered by your trust, and ripened by time you cannot command. Epictetus, another Stoic luminary, said, "Wish for things to happen as they do, and your life will go smoothly." This isn't passivity, it's mastery. It's the art of acting with purpose, then stepping back to let the universe weave its threads. When Lucius relaxed beneath that olive tree, he didn't abandon his ships. He released his fear, and in that release, the world shifted to meet him. When Lucius released his fear, a door opened, not just to wealth, but to a peace he'd never known. What door might open for you if you dared to loosen your grip? Tell me in the comments. What are you holding on to too tightly, and what might happen if you let it go? This isn't just a question. It's an invitation to join a chorus of souls awakening to this ancient truth together. When Lucius released his fear, a door opened, not just to wealth, but to a peace he'd never known. What door might open for you if you dared to loosen your grip? Picture yourself now, standing in the shadow of your own struggles, your hands clenched around something, a dream, a memory, a fear you've carried too long. The air feels heavy, doesn't it? Like a storm brewing in your bones. But what if that weight isn't yours to bear? What if the Stoics were right, and the secret to manifesting everything you want lies in the stillness you've been running from? This isn't about giving up. It's about stepping into a power so profound. It feels like magic. Let's walk deeper into this mystery, where the threads of your life begin to untangle and reveal a pattern you've never seen before. Imagine a woman named Aelia, a weaver in a dusty village on the edge of the empire. Her fingers danced across the loom, crafting tapestries that told stories of gods and mortals. But her life was a knot of worry. Her son had fallen ill, her husband had vanished to war, and the coins in her jar dwindled with each passing day. She'd lie awake, plotting every move, as if she could stitch the future itself into submission. One evening, exhausted, she sat by a flickering fire and heard a traveler recite Seneca's words, "Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant." The phrase struck her like a thunderbolt. What if she stopped pulling at the threads she couldn't reach? The next day, she wove not with frenzy, but with focus, her hands steady, her mind clear. A merchant passing through saw her work, bought every piece, and soon her name echoed beyond the village. Her son recovered, her husband returned. Had she forced these miracles? No. She'd aligned with a rhythm older than her fears. This rhythm is the heartbeat of Stoic wisdom, a truth buried beneath the noise of our modern lives. We've been taught to chase, to hustle, to grind until our souls ache, believing that effort alone summons success. But Aelia's story, and Lucius's before her, whispers something different. The universe doesn't bend to desperation, it dances with trust. Think of your own chase, those nights you've spent plotting every step, as if life were a puzzle to be solved by force. The Stoics saw through this illusion. Epictetus taught, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. When you relax into what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your breath, the rest falls into place like stars aligning in the night sky. Now close your eyes for a moment and feel this. You're not a warrior battling fate, but a sage tending a garden. You plant the seeds, your effort, your discipline, your intent, and then you step back. You don't claw at the soil, demanding the flowers bloom on your schedule. You water them, you wait, and you trust. This is the Stoic secret to manifestation, not a frantic sprint, but a quiet becoming. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do what you must, and let what happens happen." When Aelia wove with calm instead of chaos, she didn't just create cloth, she wove her destiny. The merchant didn't appear by accident. He was drawn to the energy of her peace. What might be drawn to you if you stopped fighting the wind and started sailing with it? What might be drawn to you if you stopped fighting the wind and started sailing with it? The answer lies not in the stars, but in the mirror Your reflection holds the key to a truth so simple, yet so elusive, it could change everything. Tell me in the comments, what are you holding on to too tightly, and what might happen if you let it go? This isn't just a question, it's an invitation to join a chorus of souls awakening to this ancient truth together. What might be drawn to you if you stopped fighting the wind and started sailing with it? The answer lies not in the stars, but in the mirror. Your reflection holds the key to a truth so simple, yet so elusive, it could change everything. Imagine a man named Cassius, a soldier of Rome, his armor dented from battles he could never quite win. Not the wars of the battlefield, but the ones within, against doubt, against failure, against a life that refused to obey his commands. He'd march through days and nights, his jaw set, his will iron, believing that victory came only through unrelenting force. But one twilight, as he rested by a crumbling temple, he overheard a Stoic teacher murmur, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Seneca's words pierced him like an arrow. What if his greatest enemy wasn't the world, but the storm he conjured in his own mind? That night, he laid down his plans and breathed into the silence. By morning, a promotion he'd never chased found him. The war was won, not by his sword, but by his surrender. This surrender isn't weakness, it's revelation, a peeling back of the layers we've wrapped around our souls. We live in a world that glorifies the grind, that tells us to grip tighter, push harder, as if life were a beast to be tamed. But Cassius, like Aelia and Lucius before him, glimpsed the hidden current beneath the chaos. The Stoics knew it well. True power isn't in controlling the uncontrollable, it's in mastering yourself. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." Think of your own battles, those moments when you've strained against the tide, only to find yourself exhausted, the shore no closer. What if the shore was never meant to be reached by force, but by flow? What if relaxation isn't laziness, but the gateway to everything you've sought? Picture yourself now standing at the edge of your own temple, a place within you, ancient and untouched. The air is still, the noise of your worries fading like echoes in a canyon. You've spent so long chasing shadows, success that slips away, love that eludes you, peace that feels like a distant dream. But the Stoics whisper from across the centuries, "Stop running." Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it." When Cassius let go of his imagined wars, he didn't abandon his duty, he reclaimed his strength. The promotion came not because he demanded it, but because he became the man it sought. Your desires, too, are waiting, not beyond some impossible horizon, but in the space you create when you relax into the present. This space is sacred, a crucible where manifestation ignites. It's not about doing nothing, it's about doing what matters with a heart unburdened by fear. Imagine planting a seed in soil you trust. Your effort is the planting, your relaxation the sunlight that lets it grow. The Stoics understood this alchemy. Act with purpose, then release the outcome. When you cling, you choke the seed. When you trust, you let it breathe. Think of the last time you forced something, a conversation, a goal, a moment, and felt it crumble. Now think of a time you moved with ease and watched the pieces fall into place. That's the secret. What's meant for you doesn't need to be wrestled into being. It arrives when you're ready to receive it. What's meant for you doesn't need to be wrestled into being. It arrives when you're ready to receive it. and that readiness isn't born of struggle, but of a quiet, unshakable trust that turns chaos into clarity. Tell me in the comments, what are you holding on to too tightly, and what might happen if you let it go? This isn't just a question. It's an invitation to join a chorus of souls awakening to this ancient truth together. What's meant for you doesn't need to be wrestled into being. It arrives when you're ready to receive it. And that readiness isn't born of struggle, but of a quiet, unshakable trust that turns chaos into clarity. Imagine a woman named Livia, a healer in a forgotten corner of the empire, her hands trembling as she mixed herbs for a village plagued by sickness. She'd toil into the night, her mind racing with dread. Would her remedies fail? Would the people turn away? She believed her worth lay in forcing every cure to work. But one dawn, as mist curled over the hills, she stumbled upon a tattered scroll of Marcus Aurelius. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. The words sank into her like rain into parched earth. She stopped fighting the unknown, mixed her potions with steady hands, and trusted the rest to powers beyond her. That day, the sick began to rise, and her name became a quiet legend, not because she forced life to bend, but because she let it flow through her. That flow is yours to claim, a current running beneath the surface of your everyday. We've walked with Lucius, Aelia, Cassius, and now Livia, souls who found the Stoic secret. Relaxation isn't retreat, it's revelation. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." You've chased so much: success, love, certainty, believing the harder you grip, the closer you get. But the truth gleams like a buried coin. The tighter you hold, the more you lose. Think of your own life. Those moments when tension coiled around your dreams, strangling them before they could breathe. Now imagine letting go, not of the dream, but of the fear. What might bloom in that space? The Stoics knew, when you relax, you don't just wait, you align. This alignment is no passive drift. It's a dance with destiny, a step into the power you've always carried. Picture yourself as Livia, standing in your own dawn, the weight of control slipping from your shoulders. The air feels lighter, doesn't it? Your desires aren't distant stars, their seeds already planted, waiting for you to stop pulling and start trusting. Seneca wrote, "Effort and patience will achieve more than force and anxiety." When Livia trusted, she didn't abandon her herbs. She perfected them, free of desperation's shadow. Your work, your love, your purpose, they thrive not when you force them, but when you let them unfold. The universe doesn't resist you, it mirrors you. Relax, and watch it reflect your calm back tenfold. Here's the call, the spark to set this truth ablaze in your life. Stop wrestling the wind and start sailing with it. Today, take one thing you've clung to, a goal, a worry, a need, and release it. Not the effort, but the fear. Act with purpose, then step back. Breathe into the moment and trust that what's yours is already on its way. This is the Stoic way, to manifest not through struggle, but through serenity. If this ancient whisper has stirred something in you, don't let it fade. Hit that subscribe button. It's a single click that binds you to a journey deeper into this wisdom. And if you're ready to uncover more, there's another video flickering on your screen now, waiting to pull you further into the Stoic flame. Click it, keep going, and let's walk this path together. Tell me in the comments, what are you holding on to too tightly, and what might happen if you let it go. This isn't just a question. It's an invitation to join a chorus of souls awakening to this ancient truth together. Your voice matters. Add it now, and let's see what manifests when we trust as one.